I'm sure you're aware of this because this was going very viral. Unless if we're in, I guess.
This is going viral?
This was going viral, I would say like a month or two ago. So this, I mean, it's kind of an obnoxious Twitter handle, but it's End Wokeness tweeted something that said, the biggest threat to America is white men. And you said this was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then they put that right next to you
and my husband,
with your husband, who happens to be a white man walking down some stairs. And then it said like, Don Lemon back in whatever year it was, 2008.
Glad. Is this a last question? But it doesn't have to be. But I'm glad that you asked me that question because it,
gives you the opportunity to address it.
No, it's not the opportunity to address it. It's, well, yes, but it proves what I said about internet brain and dunking on people and people wanting to sort of, have their own biases reconfirmed. What I said, we were talking in the context of, I think it was around the time that Christopher Wray was testifying in front of Congress around that time, and we're talking about terrorism. And the biggest threat was not foreign terrorism, it was domestic terrorism. And that domestic terrorism is done by radicalized right-wing males.
Well, you said white men.
I said white men, and I said mostly radicalized to the right. And then the FBI director said the exact same thing. So I don't understand why people don't understand that. I don't get it. I didn't say all white men were the biggest terror threat.
I suppose to a lot of people, now correct me if I'm wrong here, would say that if you flipped that the other way around, that would be like hate speech, that would be this, that would be that. What do you say to
well, I don't know. I think if you mean if there were black men, if black men were creating the, were the biggest purveyors of domestic terrorism, then okay. That would be the facts. Those are facts. I don't understand why, especially, I do a little, but not as much. I don't hear white women getting upset about that. I don't hear black women or black men. They all go, yeah, well, that's true. White guys get mad, but it's the truth.
I thought that tweet was a little bit kind of just like clearly trying to slam dunk
you. Yeah, but it's also like, again, it's gotcha. But
that one was a gotcha. I would agree that one was a gotcha.
But again, it's, hey, I married a white guy because that's who I fell in love with. I did not say all white men were terrorists, but that's what that tweet is trying to get you to believe. That's what the criticism is. That's what happens in conservative media because they are what? They want to gin up fear and they want to demonize me. They want to demonize me, one, because they think I'm on the left, two, because I was on CNN, and three, because it's easy to say, look at what this black guy is doing. Obviously, the racism is there because they're saying he married a white guy. And, they want to do it because it's easy. I'm black, I'm gay, they think I'm liberal, and I was on CNN. Boom. More than a trifecta.
So we have one last topic and then a couple rapid fire questions, and I'll try to be very quick about this. One thing, it was an exchange that you had with Elon during the interview that I found very interesting. So Elon said, CNN is generally considered left. You said, why do you say that? If you look at any media survey, they usually say, for example, Fox is on the right, CNN is on the left. And then you said the whole thing about the caricatures. They see you through the lens of Fox. And then you said, I'm independent in my thinking and don't make decisions due to political leaning. Do you still consider yourself to be independent or mostly on the left? When is the last time you voted Republican?
Oof, I don't remember. I can't remember. It was probably an election. I'm in Suffolk County and it's basically a conservative district, but I don't know the last time I voted for someone on the right because I don't look at political leanings. When I go in, I don't really look at whether it says R or D or.
But as a journalist, don't you think that you'd be like aware of these certain things?
Yeah, but I can't remember the last time I voted for someone on the right. But I think it would probably be in Suffolk County, but I don't know. I'm not sure. In a presidential election, I have not voted for anyone on the right.
It's been since Democrats.
Probably Reagan or something.
You voted for Reagan?
I think I did, yeah.
And what is a Republican policy that you like?
I like Republicans' idea of being fiscally conservative, but often they are not. So I like the idea of it, but it doesn't happen because usually under Democratic administrations, the economy is better. I know that's shocking to a lot of people.
Any certain
I like the idea of fixing the border from Republicans, but I don't necessarily like the approach of how they do it by ginning up fear. And that's generally about it. I like the idea that people really stand on the Second Amendment, but I don't like the idea that the Second Amendment is absolute, because it's not.
Has there been any policy that's been put forth by the Republican Party that you can say you agree with?
Not in the last administration, no.
If people listen to somebody on the right,
Yeah.
who should they be listening to?
You mean like Tucker Carlson?
Just a right-wing commentator.
Who do I like on the right? I can tell you who I used to like on the right.
Sure.
I used to like Bill O'Reilly.
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch him every night because I thought that he was a good performer. So I liked him. I think people should listen to George Will. I like George Will. I think he is, I think in his approach is very careful and moderate. So I like those two guys. It's interesting because now I think the folks on the right have become so MAGA-ized that it's hard to look at the Republican Party now and find something you like, because they're all propping up someone who is very dangerous, I believe.